Okay, this is 13D. We're going to be doing a placemat design, so we'll be doing quite a few different commands, so just go ahead and follow along. First, we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make the outside rectangle, which is going to be an 8.6 and a 6.2. That's how big our rectangle is going to be. So let's go ahead and make that first. So again, make sure you have the title, make sure you have your exercise number labeled correctly. So let's go ahead and go rectangle. Just go ahead and click anywhere right now, and then again the length is 8.6, the height is 6.2. So it's 8.6, comma 6.2. So I moved it up. Okay, so let's move it down a little bit, and there's no problem with that. Okay. And if we want to get exactly centered, that's probably what we want to do. Let's just go ahead and draw a line from here, take my ortho off, to here, and I want to draw another line from here to here, and then we're going to match up the midpoints of these lines here. Oops, let me get rid of that. Alright, so let's go ahead and go move, select the rectangle, find the, actually we need to have the midpoint on, midpoint. So endpoint, midpoint, center, intersections are good to have, but we want to find the midpoint of this diagonal line right here, and then we're going to move it to the midpoint of the big line, which is right there. So now the rectangle that we have, it's really centered up nice and neat. Okay, so we can go ahead and get rid of this. Alright, we'll get the fillets and we'll get the cuts in it a little bit later, but first we're going to work on this little piece right here. We're going to build this one first. Okay, so first we have to get the location of it. So we need to figure out how far it is from here up to the center of it, and that's going to be 8.5, and then how far it is from the side to the center, and that is 1.3. So I'm going to offset those two lines. So O enter 0.85. Okay, let's go ahead and explode this first so I don't have that double rectangle. We'll go modify, explode it, so that breaks up our rectangle into individual lines. Now we can go ahead and go offset O enter 0.85, and then we got to come in 1.3 this way. So O enter 1.3. Then we'll have the starting location for our little drawing. Okay. So the circle size says it's a diameter of 0.25 right there. So circle, de-enter 0.25. Once I have this, let's go ahead and now we got to offset the line up 0.25 and then offset it again 0.45. So O enter 0.25. Then again O enter 0.45. Alright. The sides offset 0.1 and 0.1. O enter 0.1, 0.1. Okay, pay attention here. We're also going to have to offset now this 0.1 up, this one 0.1 down. Okay, so it looks kind of complicated with all these lines, but just follow. Next thing we're going to do is we'll get a circle, go to this line right here, and come to this spot right there. Okay, repeat circle, go to this line right here, make sure you get the correct one, here to here. Now we're ready to trim it up, to clean it up a bit. So we'll go TR enter, select all the lines. Let's go ahead and get rid of all these little extra lines we don't need. Let's see here. If it doesn't trim, we'll just end up erasing it when we're done with it. So let's get rid of all this stuff inside. So if it doesn't trim, again, you can just use the eraser button on it. So let's go ahead and use the eraser to get rid of all these other lines. Okay, that's what we want. Now we're going to be doing an array. Okay, so we did this first part, and then we're going to do an array to just to fill it in, copy it around there. So there's 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. So let's go ahead and go to the array button. It says select objects. We're just going to go select just the top part. Hit enter. Center point. Click in the center of the circle. Make sure it says total numbers. Make sure you put in 8 here. Okay, so make sure it says 8. Then go ahead and, if you want, you can go preview, but it should be fine. So go ahead and click OK. And that's what it looks like right there. Okay, now we got to fill it in with this rest of the stuff. So we're going to have 4 rows, and it looks like we have 4 columns. So let's look at the spacing though real quick. The spacing between each individual pattern between here and here, it's 1.5. So 1.5, and then the spacing between each individual pattern this direction is 2. So 1.5 vertical, and then 2 for the horizontal. So watch when we do this. We'll go back to the array, and this time we're going to go to the rectangular array, because before we did the polar. We want 4 rows, 4 columns. Good. Okay, so remember the rows is the distance it was between these, so that was the 1.5. And then the columns, it's the spacing between columns from here to here. Remember it was 2. And let's see, and then we need to select the object. And then I think we're ready to go. So go ahead and preview or click OK. And then we have our pattern. Okay. Next step, let's go ahead and start doing the fillets on the edges here. Okay, it's a fillet of 0.5. There's 4 of them, all 4 corners. Okay, so let's go and get that. So F, enter, R, enter, 0.5, enter. Click here and here. Here. Here, then here. Alright, now we got to start doing the little cuts now. So it looks like it's 1.6 and then 1.5. So let's go ahead and do this. We'll go O enter 1.6. And then we're going to go O enter 1.5. Okay, and then I just clicked it again to that distance. Okay, so the cut's going to be right in there. Actually, we need to have this line. These lines extend out, so we need to grab those lines. And let's just drag them to, well, we want to have that perpendicular on. Perpendicular. Okay. And then we're actually going to do the same over here. Yikes, I got something clicking up. Okay, so that's the location of that. Now we got to look at the cut. So down here is what they give us the information for the cut now. So it looks like they offsetted this line 0.5 and 0.5. So let's take a look how that works. So we go O enter 0.5 this way, this way. We're going to do one at a time. If we get all these lines real quick, it will get confused. Oops. Okay, we got to come in 0.5 now. So O enter 0.5, and then we're going to draw a line just like this. Okay, so that's the little line like that. So remember to do it on this one over here. So we go O enter 0.5. Let's come this way, this way. Let's draw that line. Okay, let's come up to this one. O enter 0.5 enter. draw that line. Let's do the same thing over on this side too. Try not to get confused though. O enter, 0.5 enter. Draw the lines. Draw the line. Oops, I'm getting confused here myself. Okay, from here to here to here. Okay, and here to here to here. All right, let's trim this up a little bit. Clean it up. Okay, so get rid of this stuff. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And these other lines, we can erase them. Okay, so we got the cuts on the sides. Now we got to do the cuts on the tops and bottoms. So the cuts on the tops and bottom, the distance is 2.3, and then they went 2. So, oops, I guess we should have kept the line there, shouldn't we? I'm just going to go ahead and drag this line, and I'm just going to make one that comes something like that. That's fine. Okay. Actually, I'll make it a little. Let's make it a little bit longer. Okay, we'll bring it up because we're going to need to have that offsetted across. So again, it's going to be offsetted 2.3 and then 2. So O enter 2.3 there. Then we go O enter 2 enter and do it twice. Okay, so we got the locations of that. We don't need this no more. And then remember to do this. We go O enter 0.5 enter. Come up. Come to the sides, come to the sides, come to the sides. Now we're ready to draw. Get the little V's in here. I'll take that ortho off. Okay, so I'll go O enter, 0.5 enter. Draw that little cut in here. Okay, now let's go ahead and trim to clean it up. So again, trim button or TR enter, same thing. Select everything. Hit enter. Let's get rid of the little cuts in here. Looks like I didn't select those lines, but that's fine. Okay, all these other lines, let's erase. Okay. And then all we're doing is we're just left to putting the dimensions in here. And then what you can do is you can color up your placemat design. It'd be good to have for you to use different colors. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the dimensions real quick so at least you know how to do that. So I go dim, and then you can go radius button. Same thing as dimension radius. Bring that out. Okay, remember this has a 4x in here. So to put a 4x in there, just go ED for edit dimension, click on it, and type in that 4x space. Click OK. Alright, so there's that. We need to get these put in here. So we'll do the top part real quick. So it's linear, endpoint to endpoint. Bring it up. Here to here, bring it up, and then where do they go? There to there. Okay. Hold on. I did that wrong, dimension wrong. Yikes. Okay, so they went from the center of the circle, endpoint to the center. Then they brought it up. Repeat linear, center to center, and just line it up even. Okay, so there's that one. Let's go and get the 6.2. Endpoint, same. Okay, so this one here looks like they went from here to the center, brought that down, center to center. We'll just line it up. Yep. Okay, then when they went from there to the sides, so let's go and do that. Endpoint to endpoint, just bring it over. Endpoint, bring it so we can line it up nice and neat. Okay. Let's get those two. So endpoint to endpoint to endpoint, which is the same, endpoint to endpoint, endpoint to endpoint. And then we're almost there with this one here. They went 0.5 from here to there. Here to here, then they brought it over. You guys remember what to do with this 0.5? How do I put that? Keep on getting the wrong buttons here. Okay, so I need to shove that in there. So you can just go ahead and use the A button if you're using versions 2009 or above. If you're using 2008, use the pencil if you're using 2008. But if you're using 2009 or above versions of AutoCAD, use the A, click on it, shove it in there. Okay, we got that one, and then the 0.5. So let's take a look. Let's bring it down a little bit. Looks like it's over to the side as well, like that. Okay, so it's that one. Now we gotta get this 0.5. And then let's see what they do here. They got the arrows forced out. So let's go ahead and do this to force the arrows on the outside. Click on the last button. Let's go override since we're changing one thing. I'm going to go fit, and then we're going to click on arrows, click OK, close, and there's an update button right next to it, so click on update, click on that, hit enter, and that's what it looks like. That. Okay, good. Alright, so again, you can color it up to any colors you want, but make sure you do put your dimensions on. Okay, so then go ahead and save this as 13D. So you go File, Save As, go to your 13 folder. So again, last name -ex13D, and then go save. Alright, good enough.